Hello, friends. Let me start by talking about the human cell. The incredible number of cells in the human body is 37.2 trillion cells. The human cell is a complex and fascinating structure, and at the heart of it lies the remarkable molecule called DNA. The structure and diversity of cells. Any cell is made up of organic molecules. An organic molecule is made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. Out of these three atoms, if one is not present, then we can't call it an organic molecule. If a single individual cell is said to have life, then it is because it contains organic molecules. There are different types of cells in the human body. A particular group of cells make up the skin, another group make up the bone, another group make up the muscles, etc. Somehow in primitive Earth, the organic molecules might have organized together, and later, as time went by, they went on to form a single unicellular organism. Later, unicellular organisms went on to form multicellular organisms. As everyone knows, human beings are multicellular organisms. There are also sickle cell organisms like bacteria, etc. Single cell organisms are also called the unicellular organisms. The unicellular organisms are divided into the prokaryotic organisms and the eukaryotic organisms. The prokaryotic organisms do not have a nuclear membrane present, whereas the eukaryotic organisms have nuclear membrane present. Organisms are divided based on the nutrition into autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs like plants manufacture their own food, whereas heterotrophs like animals obtain their food from the environment. This kind of classification includes both unicellular and multicellular organisms. Every living cell requires energy which they make by chemically breaking down carbohydrates. The function of the cell. The three basic processes that any individual cell undergoes are eating, breathing, and reproduction. Multicellular organisms reproduce sexually, whereas unicellular organisms reproduce asexually. The importance of the DNA. The DNA is the genetic material present within the nucleus of the cell. The DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, is made up of proteins which in turn are made of organic molecules. The DNA present in the nucleus of a cell stores information required by the human body by variation of protein concentration. The DNA is analogous to a computer program which is stored on a hard disk of a computer. Each DNA in the nucleus of the human cell in the body contains 23 pairs of chromosomes. The first 22 pairs are called autosomes. The 23rd pair of a male or a female human being's chromosome is the sex chromosomes. Scientists say that males have XY and females have XX as the 23rd sex chromosome pair. A single chromosome pair is from the father and the other one is from the mother. On an average, each pair of the entire 23 pairs roughly contain 1000 genes. Each gene or a group of genes may represent a particular trait like eye color, hair color, how a particular cell should function, etc. Each gene is represented by a combination of four nucleotides. To make it simple, scientists have named the four nucleotides as A, T, C, G. A is adenine, T is thymine, C is cytosine, and G is guanine. The sequence of all the nucleotides in the 23 pairs of chromosomes of one human cell is called a human genome. When I mention DNA, it refers to the 23 pairs of chromosomes in one human cell. You have a copy of DNA in all the cells in the human body. The DNA instructs the cell how it should function. A muscle cell uses only that information from the DNA which it requires to function and ignores the rest. The other parts of the body does likewise. Genetic diversity and mutation. If you compare the human genome of various human beings, you will find a 99% match. The 1% mismatch accounts for the difference in color of the hair, the difference in eye color, the height variation, and many such differences. Sometimes it so occurs that the sequence of nucleotides as inherited from your parents can change. This is called the gene mutation. Gene mutation is permanent one and there is a chance that it will be transferred to your offspring. In this context, one should be aware of the dominant and recessive trait. When the chromosome pair is formed, one of them is from the father and the other one from the mother. Since usually one trait represents one gene from the father and the other gene from the mother, if the trait is recessive and if only both genes are mutated, then the genetic disorder will be transferred to the offspring. If the trait is dominant, then even if one gene is mutated, then the genetic disorder will be transferred to the offspring. Applications of DNA research. 1. DNA research can be used for better crop cultivation by altering the genome of the crops. Second, paternity testing. Studying the DNA can be used to identify the true parent if the need arises. Third, crime solving. Here it is worthwhile to mention that in the human genome, there exist 13 unique regions where a person is unique. By using this system to identify the criminal, it is known as the FBI CODIS system. Fourth, DNA research has been very helpful in the field of medicine for A. Genetic diagnostics. It has been very helpful in the diagnosis for diseases such as sickle cell anemia, cystic fibrosis, etc. Pharmacogenomics. This is simply to find out the correct medicine and dosage of medicines to be prescribed for the patient. C. Gene therapy is used to make alterations to the genome and to prevent and treat the genetic disease. D. Cancer genomics. This helps in cancer treatment. E. Infectious disease research. This helps in studying the genome of viruses and also to find a vaccine to treat the infectious diseases. What a wonderful thing it is. That's all I can say. Please press the subscribe button to help me make more useful videos. Don't forget to press the share and the like button. See you later.